Start करें?
Yeah.
So, good evening, everyone. Today we have with us Mr. Akshat Arora, who is a qualified company secretary with extensive experience in corporate compliance, legal advisory, and insolvency proceedings. He has also worked with KPMG India, where he handled secretarial compliances, corporate restructuring, and played a key role in insolvency resolution process. So, today we are delighted to have him with us to share his experience and guide us.
Thank you, Javisha. Yeah,
So,
it's
I would like
delighted
to
to
ask,
have you all here. So I also thank everyone to be here, though not the one time, but still. Yeah,
so can we start now?
yeah, sure.
So, I would like to ask you, like, can you briefly walk us through your career journey and how do you like reach to the KPMG?
So my journey started in 2016 with BKC and Associates as a CS intern, and I've been there for around 3 years, initially as an intern, and later on I've been absorbed there as an associate. So during my tenure with them, fortunately, I've dealt with many listed companies, including DLF, Lemon Tree Hotels, HCL Group, basically. So that has actually helped me gain extensive knowledge related to secretarial compliances and all. So those were our retainer clients. Later, I joined Triple Insolvency. My tenure with them lasted for like 3 years, and it was India's largest insolvency firm from 2016 till date. It's the India's largest insolvency firm. And during my tenure with them, I handled various insolvency cases related to Lanco. That's one of their flagship cases. Uh, and Post that, my interest for IBC made me to join a course named Graduate Insolvency Program. So fortunately, I've given that exam, and I've been there. I've got a seat over there out of around like roughly there were around 50 seats, and fortunately I got one of them. And it was a 2 years residential course. And in 2021, I joined that course. And again, in as a part of course curriculum, you have to you have to do that course for a year, and later you have to do that internship kind of a training, specialized trainings in IBC. So that made me to join KPMG, and my association with KPMG also lasted for 3 years. Initially as an you can say specialized trainee, and later as an associate with them. And during my tenure with them, fortunately, I've been able to get my hands on onto legal profile, secretarial. IBC was my core at that time. So that was my brief journey that has helped me out till date. Right now, I'm working with TIMS Jalandhar and White Sage. So White Sage is a startup, and TIMS Jalandhar is, if you'll go with onto the Google, so you will find it's a huge university that runs a medical college and a hospital. So I'm working there as their CS and legal manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, what motivated you to pursue CS, LLB, and then the insolvency program, and how this combination helped in your career?
So CS was something that initially when I heard about it during my post 12th and all, you're new to the uh, what we say, you just hunt for courses कि क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. That time I'll say कि इतना idea भी नहीं था कि मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ. But when you go through the books and you deal with the people who are into the industry, then you understand इसकी importance कितनी है. But हाँ, एक जो आपके दिमाग में चीज रहती है कि when you are into the process, and that process actually help you acknowledge कि it's just an entry ticket into the industry. It's a long journey that you have to go. Fortunately, I've cleared my CS, but post that I've started my LLB, but I wasn't able to complete it, so I left it in the mid. and then I've been to graduate insolvency program. When I joined KPMG, so my senior told me that Akshat, you are having hands on the legal profile. Why haven't you done LLB till date? So I told them ki, sir, as of now the situation is ki I've completed my 4 semesters, and because of the paucity of time, I'm not going through my LLB and I've dropped it. So they helped me out ki that they'll be helping me out with this and they'll allow me leaves and everything. So from there, fortunately, I've completed my CA, then LLB, and then GIP. That is Graduate Insolvency Program. So my core motivation to do CS was something that it was just a process that I was going through. Then yes, LLB was a cherry on the cake, and then GIP was something that basis my legal and CS expertise, I was able to go through that profile. It's a core profile, so and to be honest, it was a lucrative profile. It was quite a lucrative profile. You used to get a lot, a lot, to be honest. If you'll go with the numbers of 2016 till 2022, you'll see a lot into those profiles.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello, Akshat sir. My name
yeah.
is
Hi.
I am Aryan. I just want to ask you, like, what does a typical day looks like in your role at KPMG?
Right now, I'm with White Sage, that is Films Jalandhar. So my typical day actually looks like going through a lot of agreements, contracts, and everything. Uh, I have to be in a lot of meetings. So that meetings actually, fortunately, if we able to monetize them, we go through the contracts and everything like that. And apart from that, it includes compliances and the daily compliances that a company has to do. So I feel like that's something that's my routine look like.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
like, can you explain your experience with secretarial compliances and corporate restructuring?
Yeah. So if I talk about when I was at KPMG, so restructuring used to be like that. We used to get resolution plans, and um, so I'll share an incident with you. So we got a funding of around 190 crores for a hospital that was based in Mumbai. Its name is Swasth Healthcare. That was a healthcare company. So वहां से if you'll go with it कि how we were able to restructure it was कि first was into debts, and it was put into insolvency, and post that you have to go through that insolvency process. Suppose that process, we were able to find a buyer for the company, or you can say an investor for the company. That was the incident or a fortunate case that I've seen during my tenure with KPMG, and we were able to get through that process. जहाँ पे we got funding. That was the one incident. The second incident was where there is a bus terminal. Bus terminal, you understand? Yeah, we say ISBT and all. So that was a process. That was a project based in Chandigarh, Mohali, and the toughest part of that project was ki it has multiple buyers. That home buyers, you understand? Ki, so how that project was installed was ki a part of it was a bus terminal, and besides that was there were around 20-30 floors that people have purchased. And as in usual cases that we say, that promoter just run away from the company after siphoning of the funds. You understand MCA जहाँ पे directors के नाम and all आते हैं.
Hmm.
Have you ever been through the MCA portal? So if you have to take
Uh,
control of MCA, sorry, you were about to say something, Arvind?
Please continue, please.
Yeah. So if you'll go with MCA, so restructuring is not an easy process when you'll go into the deep dive into it. So पैसा लाना is not easy, वो एक part है. But how restructuring actually happens is कि आपके जो portals हैं MCA या जो different websites हैं वहाँ पे आपके पुराने directors का नाम आ रहा होता है, and you have to remove their names, and you have to जो भी नए directors आ रहे हैं you have to now they are the face of the company, तो उनका नाम करना, so you have to liaison with registrars and all. That will actually help you out to bail out that situation. So it is not just about getting the money or infusing the funds. It is पूरी तरह हैंड ओवर करना कंपनी को, जहाँ पे सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज इज कम्युनिकेशन डेटा विच यू डोंट हैव इन योर हैंड इन डिस्ट्रेस्ड एसेट केस, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. नॉर्मल सिनेरियोज में when restructuring happens, जहाँ पे mergers and all होते हैं, तो they both cooperate with each other. But when you are into the distress system, वहाँ पे cooperation zero होता है. तो उस सिचुएशन से कंपनी को निकाल के लाना एंड गेटिंग इट ऑन बोर्डेड, नए डायरेक्टर्स को भी, is one of the toughest thing जो आपको restructuring में you will face into it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing.
So I would like to ask in this, like, how does it helps an MBA student? Like, if an MBA student is in that place, how will it help that student?
Helping isn't,
Like you told ki you have been working in a legal compliance and everything. So if an MBA student is at that place, what roles would that student play at that time?
see, जो बेसिक रोल रहेगा सबका इज जो एक कम्युनिकेशन फैक्टर है आपका सबसे बड़ा, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, सबसे बड़ा लैग उसमें आता है. सेकंड इज डेटा. डेटा नहीं होता डिस्ट्रेस्ड एसेट्स में. यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दिस सिचुएशन कि जहाँ पे आपकी कंपनी को जबरदस्ती आपसे लिया जा रहा है बिकॉज यू आर नॉट एबल टू पे द डेट्स. एंड उस
Okay.
सिचुएशन में जब दूसरा इन्वेस्टर आके उसका प्लान सक्सेसफुल होता है एंड देन ही गेट्स इनटू द कंपनी, वो इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं, बट जो प्रमोटर्स होते हैं दे डोंट गिव अप इजीली. तो उस सिचुएशन में यू हैव टू गेट दैट हैंड ओवर प्रोसेस, दो इट इज गवर्न्ड बाय जो आपके कोर्ट प्रोसेसेस एंड ऑल हैं, यू हैव टू गो थ्रू द लॉ. बट यहाँ पे आपके लिए सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज आएगा कंप्लायंसेस. मतलब जो आपकी लर्निंग्स आएंगी इट विल बी रिलेटेड टू कंप्लायंसेस में. ये होगा कि आपके सामने से डेटा नहीं आ रहा तो आप कंप्लायंसेस करोगे कैसे. So you have to submit certain documents to the different authorities. तो आप तभी कर पाओगे जब आपके पास कोई बैकअप डेटा होगा ना. You don't get that backup data easily into these companies. When it comes to legal, so these are legal battles of around 7 to 10 years. If you'll go with the JP case, I was a part of that case. जो JP की restructuring हुई है through IBC process. तो उसके अंदर it took them around 8 years to get through that insolvency process पूरा. So what will help you out a bail or come out of that situation is you have to maintain proper communication with जो भी आपके सामने वाला promoters हैं plus जो आपका सामने investors हैं उनसे. Promoters से you won't be getting, क्योंकि जो emails ही होंगे only you have only that communication जो आप उसको present करोगे सामने वाले को कि yes I have tried my best but I'm not getting the information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Arif, you can
Guys,
continue.
please mute your mic after asking the question because the voice is getting echo in the
Yeah.
video. Okay, Nikunj, you have to ask.
Good afternoon, sir. Nikunj this side. Nice
Yeah.
to
Hi
have you
Nikunj.
with us today. Hi,
Yeah.
sir. So my question is, uh, what are the challenges company face in complying with the Companies Act 2013?
See, 2013. If you'll, वैसे have you ever read
Yes, sir.
Companies Act?
Yes, sir.
You have read. So अभी तक, if I'll ask you, have you been through the amendments and all, or just the Companies Act?
Sorry, sir.
Have you been through the amendments? Companies Act के Act तो सब पढ़ ही लेंगे, to be
No,
honest.
sir. No, sir. No.
That's the first challenge.
Okay.
So
So you have to like read a lot for that.
yeah, so you have to be updated onto the various web portals. One of them is specifically is MCA. So you have to, if I talk about during my internship in 2016, so our daily task was to go through that portal at 10 बजे ऑफिस जाते. You have to go through that all the amendments. You have to check actually. You have to check whether there is any amendment or not. So the major challenges that you'll go with this is, one is frequent updates, जो भी regulatory updates आ रहे हैं. One of the major challenge Another major challenge is interpretation. When you'll go with the legal profile or something like that, or with the law, interpretation of law is something जो सबका at times अलग हो सकता है. Even a word or even a single comma can change the sentence. So that was something that that
Exactly.
you have to deal on daily basis. Or if I'll talk about companies, तो जो timelines होती हैं, see compliance is something. Just a second. So compliance is something, if you'll go with it, you'll find that companies are redundant and reluctant, and they have an attitude कि इसको हम बाद में भी कर सकते हैं. We'll get a penalty, ठीक है, बाद में कर लेंगे, जो भी छोटा मोटा फाइन आएगा we'll pay it. तो जो अच्छी companies हैं, they avoid doing this, but जो maximum companies हैं into the market, they practice like this only. So you'll see कि जो timelines है, they don't comply with it, और जो deadlines हैं, those are actually strict timelines by the law, but that is something जो मैं कहूँगा lack of awareness की वजह से which will feel, or these are some of the challenges जो आप companies में daily basis पे कहीं ना कहीं देख रहे होगे या deal करोगे कभी ना कभी. Yeah.
All right, sir. My second question is, this is also the last question. Please explain your role in handling CIRP and insolvency cases.
हाँ जी. Yeah, sorry. Actually, I got a call, so it was Nikunj,
Yeah,
I
no
think.
worries, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my next question is, please explain your role in handling CIRP.
So my role would will start from the process when you'll have to make public announcements. So it's basically a process management, insolvency process management, rather I would say. So complying with the law, that the timers that specifically hit, because it's a process of 180 days, so you have to do everything within the strict timelines. Because uski report we have to submit to the court. So anything that goes beyond your power, I'll say, or anything that I'll say कि जहाँ पे if you'll breach the timelines, so you'll be answerable for the same. So I'll say right from making public announcements, then you have to go through the legal battle. You have to file certain cases against the promoters. So it will include again compliances, managing the legal portfolio, again managing the insolvency processes, getting the resolution plan, reviewing them, and making sure that these are viable for the creditors. So this is something that is a part of my role. Though from I'll say a different client, my role changes. To be honest, when I was managing the legal profile of Supertech, you might have heard the case of Twin Tower demolition. So that was being handled by me and one of my seniors at KPMG. So that was my role with Supertech. And I've been on that project for 3 months. Later, I've been deputed to Yamuna Expressway. That was JP's project, and I've been there for around an
Yeah.
year. And in that year, I'll say that my role again was related to managing the home buyers and getting the resolutions intact, that whether they're maximizing the wealth or it is viable for all the stakeholders. I was managing the operations of Yamuna Expressway. I was managing their bank. Uh, what I'll say uh, that approving or giving the approvals and then managing the funds and everything that was being done by me. I have to update. I have to get that updates with me, that how much fund is available with me. So I've got that power as well, that I used to raid on Yamuna Expressway. There were certain surprise visits onto the expressway to check the works that are being executed or not. We have to go through the tendering processes, and it was a lot. I'll say fun on the expressway to go through it, and then followed by other cases. So these were two cases that I can highlight as of now.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good evening, sir.
Harsh?
My name is Harsh, and thank you
yeah.
for
I
taking
heard.
time, sir. Sir, my
Yeah.
question is, what are the key factors in evaluating a resolution plan or a application?
So when you have to evaluate a resolution plan, the basic thing that will go with that resolution plan is its viability, whether it is financially viable or not, whether it is feasible for all the creditors or not, it is maximizing the wealth of all the stakeholders or not. If you'll go with, I'll say you must read the case of um, Videocon. If you'll go with the
Okay,
Videocon case, you will find that in that case, they had a debt of 65,000 crores, and uh, that promoter, he ordered he offered an OTS, one time settlement to the lenders of Videocon. Basically, we call them COC, creditors, committee of creditors, of 31,000 crores, which was being rejected by the creditors on a term that if you have that, I'll say why that plan wasn't offered way earlier, besides going into the insolvency, prior to going into the insolvency, I'll say. And while going through that process, what happened was, जो last plan आया था उस process में, that was of 2,300 crores, 23 or 2,400 crores, almost 97 or 98% का haircut creditors have to take. So when you have to go through a resolution plan or something like this, so the basic thing is maximization of the wealth of the stakeholders. And second is you have to maintain the confidentiality which was being breached into this Videocon case.
sure, sir.
And
Thank you.
जो maximization of wealth था वो इसमें 98% of haircut, मतलब if you have invested 100 rupees into something and you are just getting a rupee from it, so 99 is something, मतलब that has defeated the purpose of IBC. So the plan was on halt as of now.
Okay, sir. So my next question
And
is,
ex- and just
is
one thing, um, companies do ensure that जो plan आ रहा है उसमें जो company का going concern status है, that is being maintained. Going concern is, let me explain you. Do you have an idea or not? Going concern status का?
Yeah, we have studied about this principle in our
yes, sir.
account.
Yeah. So that is something that is prime if you have to get a lot of value from that plan. If I talk about SR Steel का case, जो उसके अंदर debts थे that were around 45,000 crores के, 45,000 crores के, and जो उसमें plan आया था that was a 54,000 crores का. because they have maintained the going concern status, and apart from various other factors that the resolution professional was able to maintain. So if I talk about maximization of wealth, जो आपका question था, that was related to I'll say key resolution plan. Can you reiterate it? Nikun, Harsh,
Yes, sir.
what was your question? I just
So my question was like the key factors in evaluating a resolution plan or an applicant for that, like what you.
so the key factors are, first you have to go through section named 29A. So that's a eligibility criteria. Then you have to check for the viability, whether it is financially viable or not. How much legal battles are there into this? जो भी बंदा आ रहा होगा. Plus उसकी credibility क्या है? मतलब you cannot have a person into the company जिसके खुद के credentials weak हो. If I talk about SR Steel का case again, तो वहाँ पे promoter was trying to have a backdoor entry through his son. मतलब एक बाहर उन्होंने foreign मतलब इंडिया के बाहर एक entity create करी and they were trying to get control of it. So you have to be proactive onto it कि whether you are able to get through it or not. Then lastly, I'll say कि maximization जो this is something which is being said at times and again कि wealth maximization is something जो होना चाहिए. Though it is not the sole purpose, but the only purpose of IBC is कि going concern status maintained रहे besides सबके dues and all settle हो जाए.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And so what are the practical like challenges arises when dealing with like distressed companies?
So as I've said, starting maybe the prime or जो एक सबसे बड़ी problem है, it is the information. You won't get information easily. So if you get मतलब अगर आपकी company में कोई invest करेगा, so you have to show them what you actually have.
Okay.
ठीक है?
Kind of
But
like a primary data, like
sorry.
kind of like a informed information, like we have to provide it at the first hand.
No. So what usually अगर आप कहीं भी जा रही हो, you'll first go with the numbers, right?
Okay.
But अगर वो numbers ही सही ना हो तो आप एक informed decision नहीं ले पाओगे. If I talk about Supertech, तो वहाँ पे सबसे बड़ा challenge which we saw, which we faced is कि they were not giving us the data कि जहाँ पे जो उनके projects हैं, ठीक है? So they have multiple projects named जैसे Supertech Eco Village, then ORB, ऐसे करके उनके काफी सारे projects हैं. So they were not giving us the proper list जहाँ पे we can evaluate कि उनके कौन से projects will come into this IBC. तो उस सिचुएशन में what we faced is कि initially जो list थी उसमें 28 projects आ रहे थे, later on it was revised to 32, फिर बाद में it was revised to 25. तो ऐसे करके they were not giving us the information, तो lack of information और I'll say जो reliable information है वो नहीं मिली, clarity नहीं थी, और you'll get promoters से काफी ज्यादा what I'll say, promoter can actually harass you. If you are the resolution professional of Supertech, so you have to be on your toes कि promoter आपके against कुछ भी कर सकता है. And one such instance was कि promoter actually got a pistol in मतलब he was about to shoot that resolution professional, not in Supertech case, but एक case ऐसा हुआ था जहाँ पे they called the resolution professional to had a word with him, and what they did was it was a company based in Haryana. So जो मेरे एक senior थे, he was a resolution professional of that case, and he said कि बात करने से पहले ही he put a gun on the table कि सर अब बात करते हैं.
Okay.
So that was something कि I'll say कि distressed assets में आपको ये चीज देखने को मिलेगी. If I'll talk about एक और केस था फ्यूचर लाइफस्टाइल फैशंस लिमिटेड. If I talk about that case, तो वहां पे जो वो डिस्ट्रेस कंपनी ने फेस किया was कि उनका जो वेयर हाउस था, जिस मोमेंट पे कंपनी इंसॉल्वेंसी में आई, दे हैड अ वेयर हाउस जो फुल ऑफ क्लोथिंग एंड अपैरल्स एंड एवरीथिंग वहां पे था. बट ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस ऑल ऑफ अ सडन गार्ड्स एकदम गायब हो गए, एंड सारे का सारा जो वहां पे रखा हुआ था स्टॉक वो सारा गायब हो गया. तो अब उस कंपनी में वैल्यू बची नहीं, उसे खरीदेगा कौन?
Oh, I
एंड
guess.
साइड में ही प्रमोटर किशोर व्यानी, ही इज द प्रमोटर ऑफ फ्यूचर ग्रुप, ही स्टार्टेड इज अनदर ब्रांड, एंड वो चीज वहां पे मतलब यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि यहाँ से वो चीज वहां जा चुकी थी। तो दिस कंपनी, इसके पास एसेट्स के नाम पे सिर्फ एग्रीमेंट्स थे जो कि रिलायंस के साथ थे, एंड रिलायंस टुक ओवर दोस स्टोर्स। तो दैट वाज द रीजन जहाँ पे फ्यूचर लाइफस्टाइल जो फ्यूचर ग्रुप था वो कहीं ना कहीं खत्म हुआ।
Okay, yes. Thank you.
या तो इफ आई टॉक अबाउट दिस, तो चैलेंजेस को अगर पॉइंट्स में कन्वर्ट करा जाए तो एक आपका अगेन आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, आपके पास कम्युनिकेशन चैनल्स बंद है, प्रमोटर्स यूजुअली डू नॉट कम्युनिकेट इन दिस। जहाँ पे वो कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं उनका सोल इंटेंशन होगा आपको डराने का, टू बी ऑनेस्ट दे विल थ्रेट यू, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, और इधर दे विल थ्रेट यू और दे विल ट्राई टू, मतलब ठीक है वो चीज आई नॉट से, आई थिंक इट्स ऑन रिकॉर्डिंग राइट नाउ,
Yes, I understood
ठीक है,
it, sir.
ठीक है। एंड फिर यू विल सी कि मल्टीपल स्टेक होल्डर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आपको मिलेगा इन कंपनीज में। सी जो क्रेडिटर्स होंगे उनको इफ यू विल गो विद जो सेक्शन है सेक्शन 54 व्हिच गिव्स यू अ वाटरफॉल कि किसको कितना पैसा दिया जाएगा, तो क्रेडिटर्स में भी फर्दर बाइफर्केशन एंड एवरीवन वहां पे वांट्स कि उसको ज्यादा पैसा मिले। तो वहां पे वो एक बैटल फिर से स्टार्ट होती है। फिर जो यमुना बेसिकली जेपी इंफ्राटेक का केस था, वहां पे जो बैटल थी, जो वाटरफॉल था उसके अकॉर्डिंग इफ यू गो तो सिर्फ क्रेडिटर्स के पास पैसा चला जाता जो कि वाटरफॉल में सबसे पहले आ रहे थे। बट जो आपका यमुना, हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ दैट यमुना एक्सप्रेस वे अथॉरिटी करके एक है,
Yes,
येड़ा
yes, sir.
दिल से एज, तो उसके अंदर इफ यू सी
Yes,
तो
sir.
दे हैव फाइल्ड क्लेम कि हम लोगों को प्रायोरिटी में ऊपर आना है, कि जब जब भी पैसा दिया जाए तो दे शुड ऑल्सो बी अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट पूरा स्टफ, क्योंकि आई फील से जो चंक आएगा पहले क्रेडिटर्स लेगा, उसके बाद पैसा बचता ही नहीं नीचे किसी को देने के लिए। तो उसके अंदर ये डिस्ट्रेस एसेट्स में यू विल फील कि रेजोल्यूशन जो है वो इजी है ही नहीं, क्योंकि कोई ना कोई बंदा आके अपने राइट्स के लिए आपको बार बार बैटल या लीगल बैटल्स में इंक्लूड करेगा।
Sure.
So, good evening,
ओके,
sir.
या
I am Alvinder. So, my question to you is, what key skills are essential to succeed in a compliance, legal, or insolvency role, and what mistakes should fresher avoid?
see, if I talk about being a fresher, if I would say, we hesitate to talk to people. We hesitate to shoot emails or something like that. I'll say it depends upon कि आपके साथ कौन बंदा है who is helping you out with the to bail out of that situation. To be honest, एक अच्छा सीनियर साथ में होना बहुत जरूरी है, because at times you will feel कि you are left out within the system. तो उसमें I'll say read as much as you can, at least when you are going through any of the compliance or something like that, क्योंकि जो आपका सीनियर होगा ना, he is dealing with the practical aspect right now. There can be a possibility जहाँ पे वो अपने आप को अपडेट करना, जो आई थिंक वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस था कि कंपनीज एक्ट को आप कैसे वो करते हो, तो एक पॉसिबिलिटी है जहाँ पे यू विल फील कि वहां पे जो आपका सीनियर है वो अपडेटेड नहीं है। तो एटलीस्ट एक बेसिक लेवल पे यू शुड हैव गुड नॉलेज ऑफ द रेगुलेटरी अपडेट जो डेली बेसिस पे आ रहे हैं। ऐसे जो आपका कम्युनिकेशन है, यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन टू इट। एक कम्युनिकेशन विद द क्लाइंट एंड विद इन द सिस्टम, दोनों चीजें बहुत जरूरी हैं। तो ट्राई टू वर्क ऑन टू इट बीइंग अ फ्रेशर if you have to go through it.
And so, what advice would you give to an MBA finance student aiming for roles in firm like KPMG or in the solvency domain?
See, as of now, my only advice, if you have to be with KPMG or any of the big fours who are dealing with such cases, is within the system you will find uh, a lot of. Let me give you an example. You'll get a hint out of it. KPMG had that. They had their teams in Bombay, Kolkata, Gurgaon, and somewhere in Delhi as well. I was the only CS who was managing their entire portfolio of compliances, then legal wala and everything. ठीक है. Being, I'll say, you'll find okay. I think I'll deviate from the question. Can you just reiterate it just for my
So, yeah.
clarity?
So I was asking about the your advice. What would you give to an MBA finance student aiming for roles in firm like KPMG or in the solvency domain?
Just see, if I'll say as of now for insolvency domain, if I'll say um, insolvency is not going well within the market, to be honest. You'll find that many of the firms, big fours, even big six, if I'll talk about, they are not working actively onto their insolvency domain, to be honest. Uh, but if you have to see that that's a harsh reality that I'm sharing with you right now. Um, initially, it was something that that I said कि 2022 तक या 23 तक भी you'll find numbers were great. People were getting hikes. मतलब if I talk about as an employee, if I talk about, so I got a great hike, I got a promotion, everything. I was going through that phase. मतलब जो एक initially आपको spike मिलता है. 24 तक भी it was working, but 25 तक जो cases थे वो खत्म हो रहे हैं. अभी छोटे छोटे cases में IBC में. So if you have to go into the insolvency domain, I'll say कि try with the firms जो थोड़े से big fours. Apart from big fours, if you try with other firms, you'll feel that IBC is still alive. You'll be going through a lot of resolutions and restructurings. To be honest, if I talk about AAA, they are still able to manage good cases. They had the case of Gitanjali Jewels, Amar Pali, or even Lanco ka they also had that. Future Group ka bhi they had. So it's it. So if you'll go with that kind of firm, you'll get a lot. If I talk about KPMG finance, में, I'll say they have a GDS team, global, जो basically global team होती है. You can try your luck over there. You'll because global teams actually give you work-life balances. To be honest, if you want to go into the finance, because see within Indian culture, they had that mentality कि जहाँ पे you will find कि ज़्यादा काम करवाना है. But if you'll be working with their foreign entities or something like that, they'll give you work-life balance. ठीक है, जो regular updates and everything, you'll be getting it on your table. To be honest, that will actually help you out. If you have to go with insolvency, I'll say go with the medium-sized firms. But if you have to go with big fours, I'll say try their other domains related to finance. For now, to be honest,
Thank you, sir.
yeah,
So thank you so much, sir, for taking your time out and
yeah,
giving us a great experience and guiding us for our future. Thank you so much.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Recording done.